What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? We are getting ready to get into template number 241, which is today's class. And what we're going to do in class today is do a pretty popular trend that you all have been requesting. It's an embroidery or tapestry look. However, we're putting a spin on it by adding images and characters so that your designs can stand out against the sea of designs that are out there on Etsy and other online platforms. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me know, first of all, if you all can hear me in the chat. And if so, I'll go ahead and get this demonstration going. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, so you all just let me know if you do not hear me at all, okay? And then that way I can check in on y'all. All right, Sheila, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So I know it's going to be super popular for you all to do these for the holidays. So what we've done is went ahead and come up with some pre-made designs for you. We actually created these in Midjourney, which is the AI that we're using to train you all on how to generate your own images. So I want you all to keep that in mind as you are getting into designing. There's some super easy ways that you can upgrade your design, okay? So first we're gonna go ahead and right click on the top image here. All of these images here, let me just go ahead and group them. These are PNG examples, and I'm just giving you those so that, let's do examples here. Okay. So these are here just to show you what you can achieve here and give you some ideas. But the main one that we're going to edit is just this one here at the top. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into that. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you all can see that there's some texture going on here inside of the image. There's some outline here. And we're going to keep this super simple because most of these designs that are selling are done with DTF, and it's across the chest there. So we're going to pretty much do the same exact thing, DTF style design or sublimation style design across the front of the chest. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to change out the accent image here. And what I'm going to do special for you all is go ahead and generate a design here. Well, no, I'm not going to generate the design. I'm going to have you all help me out in the chat and tell me what theme you want to see here. Okay. So then that way it's a little interactive since we are live. So tell me in the chat, what theme do you want me to turn this into? Do you want me to do a school mascot? Should we do breast cancer awareness? Should we do something holiday related? Give me an idea here and I'll go ahead and make it with something that that has you in mind. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick flip. Okay. So let's say we're going to turn this Vikings design into a Christmas design. All I'm going to do is double click on the accent one here. And then you all will have some of these images already here. But let's say instead of the gingerbread man, I want to bring in a different image because I will have that in there for you all. I'm going to go File, Place Embedded, and I can place whatever image I want. Place Embedded. Sorry, I'm on this small screen right now instead of my big screen. So I'm going to go to my downloads where I have a few images for you all. And let me find my Christmas tree. Y'all see we've been playing with AI. It's been so much fun. So I have a few images here that that I created in Midjourney. So these are AI artworks. What I did was already created some embroidery style images without having to do any type of Photoshop effect. So what we are doing on Monday, we're going to have every Monday, we're going to do co-work sessions, which means that what we're going to do, go into Midjourney together and we're all going to generate images. So we're going to learn and we're going to create together. So then that way, by the end of the session, we have hundreds of images designed for us to all use as a group collectively. Okay. So I'm going to be teaching you all how to make these style images here, just like that gingerbread man there, just like the boot that we used on the Holly Dolly Christmas, right? So I want to show you all how to use these type of designs without having to do all the graphic work. So let's bring in, what do y'all want to bring in? The Christmas tree, Emma, the nutcracker, which one?
I like the Christmas tree.
Christmas tree? Okay, let's bring in the Christmas tree. Okay, and you'll notice that it already looks like it has embroidered details in there, which is perfect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring this in, close it out, say yes to save. Let me bring the prompt over here so y'all can see it. And then automatically that turns into, ooh, y'all got some ideas here. I see them rolling in. Halloween, breast cancer, Thanksgiving. Oh, I haven't done a Thanksgiving one. Let's do a Thanksgiving one. And then New Orleans Saints. Okay. All right. So we got the Christmas tree in there. And you'll notice that it put like an outline around it. And it's this color that that we could change out as a smart color here. And we want to definitely change the words there. So let's right click on the word spooky. That's what the initial word was. And as a matter of fact, let me change the name of this to, I'm just going to put text here. All right, so that's your text. And let's double click on it. And instead of Vikings, I'm going to duplicate this layer so y'all have the word Vikings in there. But then I'm going to turn this word into, well, we have Mary on here. What do we want to turn it into, Emma? Let's do,
I can't think of any word that isn't long.
Right. And if it is a long word, you can make it a long word. You just have to squish it. So I'm going to type in Mary. Okay. I've been seeing a lot of sweatshirts and things that just have the word Mary on them. And I want you all to basically stay with the trends, but then create your own version of that trend. Okay. So I've changed this to Mary, but what I'm going to have to do is if I want to replace one of those letters, you don't have to replace the letters. You could just do the word Mary just by itself, but we got to be extra. So in order to be extra, I got to teach y'all how I'm extra. So we're going to delete the E, just the letter E. And then we're going to put 2 spaces. Wherever that letter was, we put 2 spaces. And what that allows us to do is have a gap in the text where now we can use this image and we're going to right click and only select accent 1. And then that way I can move that over. Okay. And it replaces that letter. And the whole idea of this is that you can spell things out with images and kind of make it your own. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is change out the color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into my image here and I'm going to grab some of these colors from the image. So I'll choose my color picker tool and I'm going to go with, there's a red right there that I want. And then I'm also going to pick maybe this gold color, just to see what it looks like. So for color number 1, right now, that's my main color stitching. I'll double click on it. I'm going to duplicate this layer just so I keep that color blue there. And then I'm going to choose for my swatches. So I'm choosing that red for my swatches, which is a nice deep red. I'll hit yes to save. All right, and you see that the stitches change to that color. Awesome, awesome. Now we also have a layer. If you go back to your move tool, we have a layer that is on the text and there's some pattern here. So I have a pattern that I created for you all here. These patterns were created in AI. So this particular Monday, what we're going to do is we're going to create patterns and then we're going to create our embroidered images so that when you come back to this template, now you can update them with your own AI artwork that you created. All right, so we can go to this one right here. It's a beautiful Christmas pattern that's already been designed for you. And that's it. That's all, folks. Now, what I suggest that you do once you have your design together, I suggest that you go ahead and close up the folder. Okay, and then right click. I want you to duplicate the group. And then immediately once you duplicate it, make sure it's selected and go ahead and merge that group. What it does is it makes a quick PNG version of it for you that you can immediately export. So now I'll call this one Mary with the tree, and I'll put it inside of my PNG examples. So now you see we have all of these examples here, and it's just that easy. Spooky is a common word that I've been seeing, Mary. And then I want you to think of your local school. So this was Emma's idea here to do like the school mascots and the school names, but make it holiday and festive. So then that way, if they're doing Thanksgiving or Halloween or Christmas, then they have a reason to change out that design and spend some more coins to buy another version of that shirt. Okay. All right. So let's do, I like fall. Let's do a hello fall design. So quickly, I'm going to introduce you to the world of AI if you haven't been yet, and then I'll use it to flip this design template, okay? So what we're gonna do on Monday is we are going to do this together. We're gonna generate some images together, and I want y'all to see that it's not scary, and it can be very, very lucrative if we're all working together. Okay, so you'll see this is how I generated that little pirate ship that was in the background of the Vikings there. So let's go ahead and do something similar. Let's do a fall design, and I want to imagine. First thing, let's go ahead and bring up what we think our image would be. Now this one, because it's not Halloween, I don't want it to be a jack-o'-lantern. I just want it to be a nice pumpkin. So let's go ahead and imagine a, let's do a pumpkin. And let's do it isolated on a white background. Now this is just a basic prompt. I'm not giving it any details on what style I want it in, meaning that I'm not telling it I want a photograph. I'm not telling it I want it to be chibi style, hyper realistic. I'm not telling it any kind of style. I'm just letting it kind of give me an idea there, and then I can narrow it down from there. And it looks like for the most part, the output is going to be more photographic. Okay, so it's generating a photographic pumpkin here.
Why are one of them black?
It's doing it will listen to what it wants to listen to. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a different prompt. So it has generated those images, and I'm happy with those. But I want it to be more of a stylized look here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Imagine once again. I'm going to put the same prompt. So it's going to be a pumpkin, isolated white background. But this time I want it to be maybe a watercolor design. So I'm putting a style in there. So let's see if it gives us a watercolor style pumpkin. I still want it to have a white background because I want to be able to remove it from the background, and we shall see from there. Now, some other styles that we can do is we played with the chibi style today, and we can go ahead and do that. The chibi style is really popular with the kids.
That just sounds weird when you say it like that.
And then instead of watercolor, I'm going to put chibi. Oh, I didn't even spell pumpkin right, but it knew what I was talking. It said pumpkin has another P in it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Pumpkin.
I don't know, but I like the watercolor one. I really like the watercolor one. So I'll show you the chibi style too. So the watercolor one is speaking to me right now. Now what I'm also going to do is generate a background to go with that. So I could go ahead. Yes, I'm going to tile this one. So we're going to put in Imagine this time the prompt. Instead of just saying pumpkin, I want to do pumpkin. I want to do fall leaves. And I still want it to be watercolor style. And I'm going to take out isolated with white background because I just want it to create whatever it wants to create there. But I still want it to be a watercolor style. Now, in order for it to give me a pattern, I'm going to put dash in the word tile. Well, those chibi ones came out kind of cute. Now I'm conflicted whether we want to do chibi or
please do watercolor.
I will do watercolor. We already have a chibi style, so let's do watercolor.
A pumpkin with hair looks weird.
All right, so let's go ahead and which one of these do you like better, Emma? You know, 1, 2, 3. Automatically 1. Okay, so the way that Midjourney counts the images is the top left is 1, top right is 2, bottom left is 3, bottom right is 4. So she chose 1. We're going to upscale number 1. And I'm doing this really fast because this is really not an AI class. You already got the demo for Photoshop class today. I'm just showing you how you can generate your own images. And see how it upscaled that for us? We have to open it in browser.
So cute.
And we'll bring it on over, and then we'll right click, save image as, and we'll just save it in our downloads here for right now.
Nice.
All right, very nice. Thank you for your help too, Emma. All right, so now let's pick out which pattern. Automatically, I gravitated to 2, but I think 1 is less busy. What do you think?
I'm kind of leaning towards either 2 or 4.
2 or 4? Okay, so I tell you what, I think 1 is going to be like more of a subdued look, and then we'll try them both. We can upscale all of them. And then Craft to Quit, you all will be receiving the images on the back end. So all the images that we create when we do these samples, our Platinum VIP group, y'all get the images for the free 99. So because I'm going to go with I want first, because I went with your pumpkin, so I'm going to go with my background. We're going to see what it looks like. So I'm going to open in browser, right click, save image as, and we're going to go ahead and save that. Okay.
What if we try like a muted version and a more like upbeat, lively one?
Okay. Well, we can change the intensity of the colors, but let's stay focused here. So we have this image as our main image, and then we have this as our pattern image. So automatically I can go into Photoshop, and I'm just going to go ahead and open up that pattern image that we were given. Well, we weren't given, we earned that image. All right. So let's go ahead and open that up. All right, and then this is just I'll call this a fall pattern. So when we go here to edit, because we put the proper prompt in, this is already a tileable image, or what we call a seamless tile. So we can go to define pattern, and we'll just name this one fall. Okay, hit OK there. And that's it. That's all she wrote. So now we can come into our image here. Let's turn off our PNG examples and go to our embroidered design here. And then this one, we're going to type the words fall. I think that's going to be fun. And then we can replace the image, the A with the pumpkin, or you could even use the pumpkin somewhere else. It doesn't have to replace the letters, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this one. I'm going to duplicate this group because I want to show you an alternate version where you don't have to replace the image. You can use the image as an accent. All right, so I'm going to call this one embroidered design number 2. Give y'all an option here. All right, and let's go ahead and get into it. So our accent number 1, we're going to change from the Christmas tree. We're going to bring in the pumpkin. However, I want to do a little work to clean up the pumpkin first because I want it to be a nice, clean PNG. So I'm going to open it up by itself, and I'm going to go to select subject within Photoshop. So hopefully you have your Photoshop upgraded, and you can see that some of the things that were in beta are now in the regular Photoshop. So the generative fill and the AI smart selection is right here in Photoshop. All right, so I'm going to select my magic wand tool here and get rid of this area right here. So I'm holding down Alt to select this area. And then it looks like I have a pretty good selection here. Although I should have had contiguous turned on. I'm going to go back a second. I didn't realize I didn't have contiguous on. So if I turn contiguous on, it's only going to select the areas that are touching what I'm touching. All right, so now I should not be selecting parts inside the pumpkin that I don't want to. All right, and if we want to see what this looks like, we go to select the mask here at the top. I like to turn on, if you don't have this on at the top, I like to turn on my overlay view and crank my opacity all the way up so I can see how clean it looks. Sometimes I have to smooth out the edges because it's a little JE, jagged edge heartbreak. And once I have it selected, boom, I hit the mask. It's going to mask it for me. I right click on this mask and hit apply layer mask. I call this pumpkin watercolor. And then I'm going to right click, quick export as PNG. It's going to save it as pumpkin watercolor. Boom. Now I have my PNG version. So I can close that out. I'm not going to make any changes there. And then I'm going to go File, Place Embedded. So if you already have some artwork and you've been playing in Midjourney, or you have some clip art that you want to use here, or even photos, I want y'all to understand that you can take someone's photo and put here and do, or someone's pet, and then you can do custom shirts that way as well. So let's go ahead and place embedded. I'm going to grab our watercolor pumpkin here. There she goes. Let's hit enter to lock in that transformation. Yes to save. All right. And of course, we need to turn off our PNG examples. There we go. Okay, so now our watercolor pumpkin is in there. And you notice it has the texture inside of it. We can turn the texture off or on just by turning off the effect. But the whole point of this is that you asked me for this effect, so y'all got it. All right, let's go ahead and change out the words now. So instead of the word Mary, we're going to go to our text one, double click, and we're going to type the word fall. So let's duplicate. Actually, I'm going to type over this because I already had a Mary. Let's go fall. Okay. Now with this, you're going to notice that it doesn't take all of the space here. You may even want to make it a little bit bigger once it's on the shirt. So we shall see. All right. So now I have the word fall here. And I want to make it bigger because it's going to be kind of tiny on the chest. And maybe I want this to be more substantial. Uh-oh. I need to link. Yep, I got to link my text to the inside and my text with the outline. And once they are linked, they will move together.
This is probably blowing the audience's mind.
Probably so. I hope so. I hope this is blowing y'all's mind. Is this blowing y'all's mind? I hope so. I hope so. All right. So now, and what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and link. I'm going to also link the text just in case y'all decide to move the text in design one. You think it's a good idea to go ahead and link it for them, Emma?
Yes, because they're more than likely to do something like that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and link those two. That way, if you move stuff around, you won't be like, oh my gosh, Shannon, I messed up my file. What do I do now? So no panicking. We got you. We got you. And let's do the save dance because I did not save yet. And we want to be in the right place. All right, so I'm going to take accent number 1 here. And like I said, you don't always have to just replace the letters there. You can just use this as like maybe you want to put your pumpkin here, or maybe you want to make it big and put it in the background or overlap it somewhere. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to just put it real kind of smaller, but still incorporated there. And I feel like I have a little extra stuff around the bottom there of this one. So I'm going to go back into it and see what I can add a stroke here. If I add a stroke, it'll tell me if I have any garbage around my image. And I think I do. Just looking for it. It doesn't look like it. I'm going to put it the stroke to the outside instead of the inside. There it is. I knew I had some trash in there. Okay, so the actual image has some trash in it. And the way that we can tell, let's bring it in just a little bit. And let's do a stroke. All right, and you see all that trash down there? And that trash is literally coming from probably something so minute we can't even see it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my lasso tool and I'm just going to kind of come here in this empty space and hit delete, clean it up.
Yeah, probably some ants.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if there's anything outside of here that is selected, it is not cleaned up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit my smooth right here on my selection, hit OK, and then let's clean that up. You see how easy that was? All right, so I don't need the outline. I was just using the outline to tell me if I had some trash around my image. So now I will clear my layer style because I don't need the outline at all. Yes to save, and see how it cleaned it up here. Now I can clear that layer style. I don't need that outline. There we go. So if y'all ever end up with icky looking outlines, it's because your cut isn't clean. So now the cut is clean, baby. All right. So I could actually take this this accent element here. I have to, if I want to use this more than one place, I have to take the whole element, the whole embroidered element. So this is accent 1. You see this here, and I have to duplicate it. But before I duplicate, I'm gonna change these colors out. So let's say that what color should we do the outline? You want to do the green outline, Emma?
Green.
Of course. So this one will do the green outline, and then for the word fall, let's go ahead and go to our text, and we are going to do a brand new pattern. We're going to duplicate the pattern that we already have there, and then I'm going to double click on it, and you'll see that the window comes up where I can go to the drop down, and now you'll see that we have our beautiful design here.
And it's a little white for me.
Yep, and we can scale it up.
All right, that's much better.
Want it to look kind of tapestry-ish?
Yes, right there.
Right there?
That's the perfect spot.
Okay, perfect then. All right, and then you could even change the angle. If something's going straight across and you want it to be diagonal, you can change the angle, but I think I like this just like this. Let's hit OK. And here we can also change the color of the text outline. So instead of the red here, let's go ahead and give it the green, or should we do an orange here, Emma? Let's see what it looks like with the orange. Let's grab an orange, and then that way we can decide. I want a nice deep orange. Maybe not too deep.
I want like royal orange, like royal blue, just darker and more orangey.
All right, so let's go ahead, and I have this orange from earlier, more of a subdue. That's not too bright. You think that's too bright?
It's darker.
Okay.
I'm gonna be just like the people from the Great Gatsby party. Needs to be darker.
All right, so let's go with this color.
Oh God.
It's too
neon.
The word that calm down. I'm trying to give them the technical word to use. It's too saturated. It has too much color, so we want to subdue that color a little bit. We can come down here and bring it more towards the black to make it darker. We can bring it more towards the gray to make it duller, so that it does not have that much hue in it. Those are the technical words. Right. I'm using the technical words.
Desaturated.
All right, Emma, chill out. You understand? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and hit yes to save here. That gives it a more neutral, kind of like a chestnut kind of color there. And you have a whole different design. Of course, you can use Smart Color 1 or 2 wherever you want. And then if we want to use the green over there, we have the green enabled as well. And there it is. So now we have a fall design. And again, I'm going to show you how to wrap it up real quick. Go ahead and close out the folder there. So I'm calling this one design number 2 because we made it a little bit bigger there. Let's go ahead and duplicate that group. Let's merge the group. And then once it is merged, it is a PNG. Let's put it into our PNG examples. And then let's go ahead and check out what our examples are looking like, y'all. This is fun. This is a fun way to not have to worry about embroidery, to not have to worry about stitching around any fabric. You can turn the image off. I'll show you. You can turn the effect off for the image in the background here. And then that way, maybe the pattern fill, if you go here to the effects and you just turn it off.
I feel like you may have to
the
effect because it's a bit too bright still.
Hold on a second, Emma. So the pattern fill here cannot have the effect on it. If you want it to look like it's more of like a flat print and then it's only embroidered around the edges, you can get that effect as well. All right, so this video was longer than we wanted it to be, but I did want to show you all how we're going to be incorporating AI artwork. So go ahead and hop over to Innate Academy if you want to do some AI artwork with us on Monday. And of course, if you are joining us for class tonight, Coach Chrissy is going to be there to walk you all the way through this template. Make sure that you get a fire design. And I want to make sure that you all are posting that night when y'all get out of class. If you post that night, you're automatically putting yourself in a more winning position because you're posting. Okay, so let's get that going, y'all. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself making this for you all, and I hope that you all enjoy it too. please make sure that you tap into the Innate Academy Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group where you'll see these type of examples and work going on all the time, and at least get some ideas of how you could be expanding and growing in your creative business. All right. So listen, I appreciate y'all. I love you dearly. And until next time,
Bye.
bye. Love y'all.